Before every unnecessary purchase, there is a moment when the mind knows the truth. It knows the object is not needed. It knows the excitement will fade. It knows the money could serve a larger purpose. Yet within seconds, desire finds a justification. The hand reaches for the wallet, and the decision is made. Centuries before one-click checkout, targeted advertising, and endless digital storefronts, Japanese merchants faced the same human weakness. Their markets were smaller, but temptation was not. Silk, ceramics, tools, food, status, and comfort all competed for coins. To survive, merchant households relied on written accounts, and the discipline behind them suggests a deceptively simple rule: write before you spend, not after. Before. A purchase that could not survive the ledger often did not deserve to survive in real life. This was not merely bookkeeping. It was a way of slowing desire until reason could catch up. And that small delay may be one of the most powerful financial habits ever hidden inside a page. During the Edo period, commerce expanded across Japan, towns grew, roads connected regions, and merchant families became increasingly important to daily economic life. Yet merchants also lived under uncertainty. Fires could destroy inventory. Poor harvests could weaken customers. Illness, debt, taxes, and changing demand could erase years of progress. In that environment, careless spending was not just a personal flaw, it was a threat to the household. A merchant family did not think of money as an isolated possession. Money was working material. It purchased inventory, paid workers, supported relatives, repaired buildings, and preserved the family name. A coin spent for appearance could no longer protect the business during a difficult season, so the ledger became more than a record of the past. It became a gatekeeper for the future. The principle was simple: give every expense a name before giving it money. Writing changed the nature of the decision. A vague desire such as "I want this" had to become a visible sentence. Why is it needed? What purpose will it serve? What must be delayed if this is purchased? Will it still matter after the excitement disappears? The page demanded clarity. Desire prefers speed because speed prevents examination. The ledger introduced friction. It turned an emotional impulse into a financial question. This is where ancient discipline meets modern behavioral economics. Human beings do not evaluate every purchase calmly. We use shortcuts. We are influenced by urgency, social proof, attractive presentation, temporary emotion, and the fear of missing out. We often value immediate pleasure more strongly than future security, even when the future benefit is greater. Psychologists call this present bias. The reward in front of us feels real. The cost paid by our future self feels distant. The ledger brings that future self into the room. The moment a person writes, "This purchase will cost 3 days of saving," the expense changes shape. It is no longer just a product. It becomes lost time. It becomes delayed investment. It becomes a smaller emergency reserve. It becomes an opportunity sacrificed. That is opportunity cost. Every use of money removes another possible use. The merchant understood this without needing modern terminology. A coin placed into decoration could not purchase stock. A lavish meal could not strengthen a reserve. A status purchase could not compound inside the business. The real price of an impulse was never the number written on the tag. The real price was the future that money could no longer build. But the ledger did something else. It separated identity from appetite. Modern consumer culture often encourages people to buy symbols of the person they want to become. The disciplined professional buys expensive tools before developing the skill. The wealthy-looking person buys luxury before building assets. The organized person buys storage systems without changing habits. The object becomes a shortcut to identity. Writing exposes that illusion. When the reason for a purchase is placed on paper, many explanations become uncomfortable. I want to impress people. I feel anxious. I am bored. I believe owning this will prove I am successful. The page does not argue. It simply reveals. This quiet honesty was central to financial resilience. Merchant households that survived across generations did not depend only on earning more. They depended on preserving what had already been earned. Wealth preservation is less dramatic than wealth creation, but often more important. A strong income can be weakened by constant leakage. A profitable business can be destroyed by vanity. A family can inherit assets and lose them through undisciplined consumption. The ledger defended against leakage. It made spending visible, and visible behavior can be corrected. Today, many purchases have become almost invisible. Cards remove the feeling of handing over cash. Digital wallets shorten the decision to a tap. Subscription services divide large annual costs into small monthly amounts. Retailers store payment details so that desire can become ownership before reflection begins. Modern commerce is designed to reduce friction. Financial discipline must deliberately restore it. The ancient writing habit can be adapted with 4 questions. First, what exactly am I buying? Not the brand story, not the lifestyle image, the actual function. Second, why do I want it now? Urgency is often manufactured. A limited time offer may be less important than the feeling it creates. Third, what will this money no longer be able to do? This question reveals the opportunity cost. The purchase may mean a smaller investment contribution, slower debt repayment, less protection against emergencies, or fewer choices later. Fourth, would I still buy it after waiting? For small, non-essential purchases, wait 1 day. For larger purchases, wait 1 week or longer. The goal is not deprivation. The goal is to allow emotion to cool before money moves. This process can be kept in a simple spending ledger. Write the item, the price, the reason, the alternative use of the money, and the date when the decision will be reviewed. Most impulses weaken when they are forced to remain visible. Some purchases will survive the test. Those are often the purchases that genuinely improve life, save time, protect health, support work, or create lasting usefulness. The ledger is not an enemy of spending, it is an enemy of unconscious spending. Minimalism is often misunderstood as owning almost nothing. Its deeper financial meaning is refusing to let low-value objects compete with high-value goals. A disciplined person can enjoy money without being controlled by every desire it can satisfy. The most common mistake is using a ledger only after overspending. Recording past transactions is useful, but it does not interrupt the emotional moment. The real power comes before the purchase, when the decision is still alive. Another mistake is making the system too complicated. A habit that requires elaborate categories, perfect calculations, and constant attention will eventually be abandoned. The merchant's advantage was not complexity, it was consistency. A few written lines are enough. A third mistake is treating every purchase as a moral failure. This creates guilt, and guilt often produces more emotional spending. The purpose is not punishment. It is awareness. Financial discipline works best when it is calm. Over time, the writing habit changes more than spending. It changes investing behavior. The same mind that pauses before buying is less likely to chase excitement in financial markets. It becomes more patient with long-term plans, less attracted to noise, and more willing to let compounding work slowly. Compounding rewards consistency, but consistency requires protection from interruption. Every impulsive withdrawal, every unnecessary debt, and every attempt to appear wealthy can remove capital before it has time to grow. The ledger protects time as much as money. It reminds us that wealth is not built only by major decisions. It is shaped by hundreds of small choices that either cooperate with the future or steal from it. This is why the habit mattered to merchant families. They were not merely deciding whether to buy an object. They were deciding what kind of household would exist years later. Would the next generation inherit reserves or obligations? Would the business have enough strength to survive a bad season? Would reputation be supported by stability or weakened by display? Generational wealth begins long before inheritance. It begins in the repeated decisions that determine whether anything remains to inherit. The Shogun's ledger is not really about a shogun, and it is not a magical document. It is a symbol of command. The page represents authority over appetite. In a world that profits when decisions happen quickly, writing is an act of resistance. It creates a small space between wanting and owning. Inside that space, the future is given a voice. The next time desire says, "Buy it now," do not immediately refuse. Write. Name the object. Name the emotion, name the sacrifice, name the future use of the money, then wait. You may discover that the strongest financial decision is not made at the store, in the market, or on an investing platform. It is made in the quiet moment when an impulse is forced to face a blank page. Because money does not disappear only through disaster. A written sentence can protect years of effort. More often, it leaves through decisions that were never examined, and a life written carefully is much harder to sell to temptation.